Hello guys, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy, back with another live stream. Of course, we're going to discuss Arsenal transfers early this morning on Sunday because later in the day we'll be preoccupied with match reactions, end of the season and things like that. So we're going to talk about Arsenal transfers in the earlier hours of the day. Then later in the day we'll dive into the match against Brighton. Could it be Bissouma's last game? How Semawa said something. We're going to talk about CAMAVINGA and BUENDIA as well. Of course, if there are names that have been topping the list for Arsenal this week, it's been Grealish, CAMAVINGA, BUENDIA, and how Semawa not so much. But he has provided an update, and we've got to talk about. But of course, we shall also talk about Yves Bissouma. Do me a favor before we get into anything. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel as well. It really means a lot, especially if you want to keep posted with all your Arsenal news, all your Arsenal transfers, all your Arsenal predictions, all your Arsenal predicted lineups. Everything around Arsenal, like you will read in the description. Please do consider subscribing to this channel. It will give you the latest updates, true news around Arsenal. But also, I'll be doing news, stories, and content about other clubs. Atletico Madrid have won their Spanish La Liga. The link to that channel is in the description. So make sure at least you click on that link. Go down there. Try to see what I have to offer on that second channel. It's going to be more of reaction videos, talking about transfer news of other clubs. Of course, I will talk about Arsenal on that channel as well. But my focus will be on the likes of Bayern, Real Madrid, Chelsea, City, other clubs that look like Arsenal rivals, but are actually not Arsenal rivals. So let us get into it. A lot to discuss this early morning. Very, very, very much to discuss, especially in terms of how Semawa. I'm gonna discuss that. Try to at least make some sense of the situation around how Semawa. I'm gonna also try to make some sense around the situation with the likes of Bissouma, the likes of CAMAVINGA, and the likes of BUENDIA. Where are we? And where are we going? Because for me, that's the question with Arsenal transfers. Where are we at the moment, and where are we going? So consider subscribing to the channel. It really it's gonna give you a lot of information in terms of Arsenal. So let's start off with how Semawa, and I'll read this from the Liverpool Echo. They basically report about Liverpool, but I'm going to read it from their website because I think they have written it very well. How Semawa makes Lyon exit claim amid Liverpool and Arsenal transfer rumors. Awa has been in sensational form for his side in the past 2 seasons and has been linked with a move away in the recent months. How Semawa has refused to rule out leaving Olympique Lyon in the upcoming transfer window amid speculation linking him with Arsenal and Liverpool. Regarded as one of France's biggest midfield talents, Awa has enjoyed a rapid rise to prominence during his first time at Lyon over the past few seasons. Awa has been in sensational form for his side in the past 2 seasons, leading them to a Champions League semi-final and League One title challenge this year. In 29 league games this season, he has 7 goals and 3 assists, with Lyon currently sitting 4th in the League One table, heading into the final round this weekend, actually today. That's when the French League One will actually end. That impressive form has led Awa to be linked with a couple of clubs around Europe, including Liverpool, Arsenal, and Juventus. Just one of the names continually mentioned. And speaking in a press conference on Friday ahead of Lyon's match against Nice on Sunday, Awa refused to rule out a summer move. This is what he had to say. This could be my last match at Lyon, but it could also not be. I do not ask myself these sorts of questions before an important match like this, he said via Get the French Football News. And of course, he said, I have not played as much as I would have liked. I have struggled to come back after COVID-19. A pretty mixed season for me. I have improved in terms of managing injuries. I'm happy with my statistics in a few games that I have done. So a mixed season. I feel good. I'm not 100% for this match. I says I am 100% for this match. I said the 22-year-old was valued at around £55 million by Lyon in the summer of 2020, but it could be available for slightly less than the figure in the upcoming transfer window. That is according to the Liverpool Echo. The reason that's why I wanted to read it from the Liverpool Echo, because it looks like it's not so much sensationalized as compared when you read from, sites that really write about Arsenal. Arsenal sites sensationalize stories, to a level you cannot even imagine. But let us talk about Hakimi in this perspective. Just yesterday, Fabrizio Romano came out and said Bissouma is no longer a priority target for Arsenal because Arsenal will be looking for something different in terms of midfielders. That was according to Fabrizio Romano, and I reported it yesterday. I spoke about it in detail when we were speaking about BUENDIA and that deal, and I say that the fact that Arsenal not looking for Bissouma as they are not looking at Bissouma as their top priority target at the moment, it looks like there is something. There is that kind of player they are looking for. There is that kind of midfielder they want next to Thomas Partey. And I've already said it that a Bissouma-like kind of player and Thomas Partey, they would work together. They're very strong. They are very athletic. They're very wise. And I think the fact that they have so much in common, mentally makes us feel like they are the perfect fit. But if you let Thomas Partey play with a player like Hakimi, I think it would give us a very different kind of midfield, that kind of midfield that we have been dreaming of. Today, I'm going to do a reaction video about Santi Cazorla, and you'll see why I want the likes of CAMAVINGA, why I want the likes of Hakimi over Yves Bissouma. Bissouma is a very good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a very, very nice player. Every team would take him at their side. But for me, when we have Thomas Partey, Bissouma shouldn't be a priority. It shouldn't be our priority. Our priority would be bringing in a player who has that extra sense, that that person who wants to create more chances, lots and lots of chances from deeper in the midfield. Hakimi fits that. Nabil Fekir fits that. CAMAVINGA fits that. Bissouma, for me, he doesn't fit that. However much he's a perfect player, been in the Premier League, performed at Brighton, sensational talent. I still rate Hakimi in terms of the next midfield partner to Thomas Partey. I still rate Hakimi ahead of him. Now, Awa coming out and saying that this could be my last game at Lyon. This could be known. For me, it's a summer move. They are announcing a summer move. That is how Lyon fucking do their business. Last summer they didn't sell players. The likes of Memphis Depay are going to live on a free transfer. They're not going to get sensible money from the sale of Moussa Dembele at the moment. Probably they could actually recall Moussa Dembele back to the squad. They've got to sell a player. It's gonna be Hakimi. And first and foremost, we don't want to lie. And how Sam has spoken about it. This season has been so different from what he had last season. Now, don't get me wrong. I think his rating stays. I mean, he's a young player. You're gonna have those fluctuations in form, but class is permanent. And I do understand. But this season he has not performed to that level like he was last season. And I think it was so foolish of Lyon not to sell him last season, because £45 million or £40 million, that was okay. Get the money. Because this season they're gonna sell him at around 35. million pounds, and it's crazy. I think this is wrong mathematics by Jean-Michel Aulas. Really wrong mathematics. But maybe one of the things they are gonna benefit from keeping him is the season. They have been title contenders. Actually, I think until 2 weeks back, Lyon had the chance to still had the chance to win the title. They've been in the title race with Monaco, with Lille, and PSG. And today is when we know whether Lille will win the the French Ligue 1, or it's gonna be PSG, or it's gonna be Monaco. Three teams have the same chances. Or actually not the same chances, because the moment Lille wins its game, then it will be all over. But if PSG win and Lille do not win it, PSG take the title. If Monaco wins and PSG and Lille don't win, Monaco takes the title, because I think Lille has 80 points. PSG has around 79, and I think Monaco has 77 points. So it's still very, very tricky. But I don't want to go into their league. That will be something to discuss on the second channel. If you want to find me talking about other sports stories, link is in the description. Please make sure you subscribe there. But for Houssem Aouar, it's a deal that's gonna happen. Not to Arsenal, but it's a deal that's gonna happen. They have to sell him at this point in time. You don't expect Lyon to go 2 consecutive summers, 2 consecutive seasons without selling a player. It's never happened. It's never happened. So, and according to their business model, they sell a player to sustain them through the next season. They didn't qualify for Champions League last season. They never had fans in the stadiums. TV revenue was low. They didn't sell a player. Trust me, they are struggling financially. And I said it last summer that Arsenal doesn't know how to take advantage of such clubs, but we should learn to. Ajax, Benfica, Porto, Lyon, Dortmund. These are clubs that are pay-per-view. Really, not in the sense of pay-per-view, but they sell to survive. And I think that is something that we should capitalize on. I mean, the likes of Norwich, they know they've got to sell one of the best talents to move on, to keep living, to keep surviving. They need that 40 million pounds. They need that 35 million pounds. And still, Lyon need that 35 million pounds. And I don't think they need it for transfers. They have brought in the likes of Lucas Paqueta. You still remember last summer they brought in Lucas Paqueta, and I think all of us were switched into that mode to believe that Paqueta is gonna be the replacement for Houssem Aouar, and eventually the player didn't sign. I don't know whether it was the ego of Jean-Michel Aulas, or it was, or they were just frustrated with Arsenal negotiations. We don't know, but all I know is we have another chance to sign Houssem Aouar, and we need to go for it. Aouar is a very different kind of player. Aouar is a very is a very classic, unique talent. You don't give me Bissouma when I have Houssem Aouar, because the beauty with Houssem Aouar is you have that deep creativity. You have that creativity from deep inside the pitch. That's what you want. At the moment, what Arsenal is looking for, we are not looking for a rigid number 6. I think Thomas Partey can give us that at the end of the day, because we want to control games. Look at Liverpool. They don't have a Bissouma in that team. They have Jordan Henderson, who is so good at tackling and distributing the ball. Partey can do that. Partey can give us absolutely what Jordan Henderson gives us. Then you have Gigi Wijnaldum or Thiago. I think Houssem Aouar could be that Thiago, and I prefer to have a player who plays like Thiago than a player who plays like Bissouma, because we need the ball distribution. We need to have the ball. We need to be confident with the ball. We need to have a player who distributes that ball. We need to be to pass that ball more than 370 times per game. I'm looking at Arsenal's passing statistics, and I'm like, this team has really fallen through. the ranks a lot. Arsenal has recorded 300 passes in a full match. 300 passes, 2 chances on goal, 2 shots on target. Come on. So I think what Awa gives us is better than what Bissouma gives us. We need to be very realistic. The same amount of money. Of course, I think both deals will be easy. Brighton will not stand in the way of Yves Bissouma because they also need the money. Lyon will not stand in the way of House Semowa. They also need the money. You understand? So for me, you take House Semowa and bring in a number 10, and the midfield issue is solved. As simple as that. As simple as that. Because for me, playing Partey and Bissouma is, it's like you're playing 2 advanced central midfielders. But playing House Awa is a central midfielder through and through. Thomas Partey is a defensive midfielder through and through. Then get a number 10 in Emi Buendia, business is done. So I think, the rumors that House Awa is going to leave Lyon, because I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that, I'm 100% sure, because I was 100% sure last summer, and things didn't work out for me. But I think it makes sense. They want to sell him to get money, to survive through next season. They want the money, and I think it will happen. Either to Arsenal or Liverpool or any other club. Let us wait and see whether Arsenal will go back and offer something. But the players confirm that, yeah, you know what, this could be my last match at Lyon. It could be. It could be. So let us wait and see what Arsenal have to offer in terms of negotiations, with House Awa and the likes of Lyon, because Lyon is one of the hardest teams to negotiate with. But I think that they will be a little bit easy in this season. They need money, and they do not have so many players to sell. They're either gonna leave Awa to go or Dembele. I don't think they have so many other players to sell in this summer. So there is an opportunity. Forget about what happened last summer. Let us go for House Awa. He is perfect. And for me, the only reason as to why I would go for him is because he is the perfect player. The perfect player to play for us in that midfield. House Awa. Nothing he doesn't have. Nothing he doesn't have. Liverpool says, how are you doing, my bro? He says CAMAVINGA is a great player and he could improve by time. He's a very, very young player. That's the first thing. Very young player. So let us talk about Emi Buendia and CAMAVINGA in regards to today's show, because that is the title. Now, with Emi Buendia, a lot has progressed. A lot has progressed. That is what I can tell you on this Sunday morning show. A lot has progressed. It looks like Arsenal have accepted that Martin Odegaard is not going to be staying with the club, and this is something that I said. When did I say this? I think it was March. In March, yeah. I think I said it's March or around March or April, that Odegaard is classic. Odegaard is so good. We should do whatever it takes to retain him at the club. And I know many Arsenal fans have changed their mind about Martin Odegaard. It's ridiculous, people. It's really ridiculous. Odegaard is a bowler. Odegaard is a gum controller. Odegaard is going to improve with time. Trust me, if there is a player I would want to sign on a permanent deal, it's Martin Odegaard. I would keep him, and I would give him 38 games out of 38 in the Premier League next season. That boy is classic. That boy is good. That boy is ahead of Smith Rowe. And I think there is so much Smith Rowe and Odegaard can achieve together as the club's number 10s, as the club's creative midfielders. I think Odegaard has the potential to create more than 20 chances. More than 20 assists in a season. And that is a classic player. Sorry for that. So the truth is, it looks like Odegaard is not going to be staying with Arsenal. It's going to go out to go back to Real Madrid. Now, what I'm happy with at the moment, and I mean this is ridiculous, but I'm happy, is that Arsenal are starting to accept the fact that Odegaard will not stay at the club. Real Madrid, after losing their tie to Atletico Madrid, of course I wanted Atletico Madrid to win the title. After losing their tie to Atletico Madrid, now all they have got to do is to rebuild a project. They need to build a project, otherwise they're dying out. They're dying out as a brand. And I don't think, building a project at this time without, having the financial constraints they have as Real Madrid, I don't think they will let players like Odegaard go. It would be crazy. I mean, they want to build something new with young talents. There is no way they're going to let players like Martin Odegaard go. I think, in my own sense, what they will do as Real Madrid is try to build a team around the club, around the likes of the young players like Odegaard, Vinicius Junior, and a couple of others. You understand? So I think Odegaard is going to go back to Real Madrid with Dani Ceballos. Now, what Arsenal have done is they have started to accept the fact that we are not going to keep Odegaard. We wanted to keep him. What do we do at the moment? And what we have decided to do is to go for Emi Buendia this week. A lot has been has been reported around Emi Buendia, including a reported 35 million bid from Arsenal to Norwich. Norwich have not yet said that we have accepted or we have received the bid. So they have not officially or formally acknowledged that they have received the bid, but reports have it that they have received the bid. So we are still waiting, along those lines. As long as they come out and say we have received the bid, we shall either take it or don't take it. But if the bid is 35 million pounds, then it's either gonna be Norwich saying, you know what, add us around 3 to 4 million. And then, Emi Buendia is all yours. And I think it's a deal that will end in around 42 million pounds. But he's another close player. It's another close deal. If you look at the situation, Arsenal has not been linked with so many creative midfielders. Not so many. Most of the midfielders we've been linked with are central midfielders. So in terms of attacking midfield, creative midfielders, we've been linked with Buendia and Odegaard. With of course the likes of Paulo Dybala, who I don't think will happen, Grealish, who I don't think will happen, and Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who's a little bit tricky because Çalhanoğlu is 26 years of age, 27, and he is a free deal, and the amount of chances he can create is almost at the same level as Emi Buendia. So that is a deal that's another fresh, entertaining deal, interesting deal that we can do probably at the moment because we do not have a lot of money. You could bring him on a free transfer, and I would take him. But it looks like Mikel Arteta and the club want Emi Buendia, and it could be our first signing. So we've got to wait and see what is going to happen with Emiliano Buendia. All of us do love the player, actually. All of us do love the player, because what he's done, what he has achieved in the past 2 seasons at Norwich. They're incredible stats, incredible stats. Give me Buendia, okay. GK says, give me Buendia before you sign Martin Odegaard. And I think it's true. It's true. I mean, apart from controlling the game, I've compared these players before on the show. And I said, apart from the ability to control the game, which Odegaard has over Buendia, in the rest of the other aspects, whether it is speed, accuracy, goal scoring, and chances created, I think Buendia is ahead. Buendia is more ahead of Martin Odegaard. So I think if you're looking for a midfielder that is perfect as a number 10, it is more like Emi Buendia, because Buendia is like Bruno Fernandes. He scores goals, he creates chances, he makes those assists, but they might not control the game for you. They might not, if you're looking for a player who dictates the rhythm of play, it is not Buendia. No, then it is Martin Odegaard. It would be so fresh and fine if we played Martin Odegaard in a more central role, but playing as a free role, just like you can see Kevin De Bruyne at Manchester City. Because De Bruyne, you can never always say he's a number 10, And you want to feel he's a number 8, and I think Odegaard can be developed into something like that. That person who distributes the ball throughout the pitch but creates a lot of chances and gets in those areas to score goals. What you want with Emi Buendia is he runs fast towards goal. His progressive mentality is very good. He wants to score the goals. He scores the goals. He creates a lot of chances. The last time he was in the Premier League, he created 70 Premier League chances, goal scoring opportunities in the Premier League. At a club like Norwich, that is sensational. That is good. Last season, he has scored 15 goals and created 16 assists at Norwich. That is sensational. So I would take Buendia as well over Martin Odegaard, because I think what we want at the moment in this summer, and I'm gonna tell you this, I don't know how I should say it, but I want you to trust me, people. Arsenal is going to sign at least 2 midfielders. Dennis Ceballos is leaving. Odegaard will leave. Lucas Torreira is leaving the club. Mohamed Elneny could also leave the club with Granit Xhaka. If we lose 5 midfielders, including Mesut Ozil that has not been replaced at the moment, we have lost 6 midfielders. There is no way Arsenal will fail to bring in at least 2 or 3 midfield reinforcement. So, and that's why I'm very confident of this window, that we will sign. I don't mean the quality. I'm not so sure about the quality, because as well, Arsenal can come out, can go out there and sign whoever they want. I mean, whoever they find. That is how Arsenal is ridiculous. That's how ridiculous we are. But this is a summer where we have nothing to do but to sign players. If you see, our midfield is a hologram. You just look through it. There are no players there. Matteo Guendouzi to Marseille. Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, there is nothing I can say about that. There's nothing I can say about that. It looks like the players doesn't sit well with the manager, and the manager is here to stay. So looks like the player has to go. But it looks like Emi Buendia could be on our transfer. You know when you have a short list, but then you have a short list in a short list. I think Buendia could be one of the first players to sign at Arsenal this summer. And then the other player is Eduardo Camavinga. So let's talk about Camavinga. The problem with Camavinga has a solution, because many of you are going to tell me, Cossy, Camavinga is expensive. He is good, but he is expensive. And I'm going to tell you people, Camavinga's problem has a solution. He is expensive, £50 million, but he has 1 year left on his contract. Either they sell him or risk letting him go on a free transfer. Because if you do not sell him this summer, and because the player doesn't want to stay, the player doesn't want to sign a new contract. So the moment Camavinga doesn't sign a new contract in January, they're gonna get forced to sell him at 10 million, 15 million, 5 million, 8 million. You understand? So with Camavinga, of course, reports in Spain, according to L'Equipe, are saying that reports in France, are saying that Arsenal are doing whatever it takes behind the scenes to beat Manchester City and Manchester United on the signature of the young player, 18 years of age. I don't know, but 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, I said Camavinga deal cannot happen. Now I feel like it's a deal that can happen, because first and foremost, with a player like Camavinga, he's a young player, 18 years of age. Of course, he's sensational. I mean, when you look at him play on the pitch, we've done a welcome to Arsenal, Eduardo Camavinga. We've done the video. But what you like about Camavinga, what you expect about Camavinga from Camavinga as an 18-year-old is not what he gives you. The boy is playing like a 25-year-old. The boy is playing like a 26-year-old. If you look at him and Jude Bellingham, of course, for me, I prefer Bellingham. I think Bellingham is sensational. Of course, he's untouchable. At Dortmund right now, they're never going to let him go at the moment. But Bellingham is sensational as well. He's so good. I mean, if there are 3 young midfielders I can talk about, 3 or 4 or 5 young midfielders I'm really in love with, I'll talk about Camavinga, I'll talk about Bellingham, I'll talk about Ricky Puig at Barcelona, I'll talk about Phil Foden, and I'll talk about Emil Smith Rowe and Mason Mount. I think those are young midfielders that really are acting too much over the edge, and that is CAMAVINGA. Many people do not believe he's 18. Yeah, he's still a young boy. He's still a young boy. 18, 19, 19 years of age. And I think if Arsenal do not want to sell Granit Xhaka, the best thing to do is to sign CAMAVINGA at the club. Because CAMAVINGA is 18 years of age. Xhaka is 30, 31, 32. What you have to do is just give CAMAVINGA 2 seasons to become 20, or to become 21, and then Granit Xhaka will give way naturally to Eduardo CAMAVINGA. For me, it makes sense. It's a deal that is valued at around 50 million euros. That is 43 million pounds. But with a player left with 1 year left on his contract, Rennes are not in position to to negotiate at high prices. They know at the back of their mind, if the player doesn't move in this summer, they're gonna lose him on a free. So I think they look like very, very easy deals. But the other reason as to why I believe Arsenal will sign can sign CAMAVINGA is the fact that Mikel Arteta looks like he wants something like Bissouma but more. You understand? I don't know whether you understand. He wants a player who plays like Yves Bissouma, with confidence, with pace, with athleticism, but offers more. I think Bissouma offers less than CAMAVINGA, because defensive-wise and tackling, CAMAVINGA offers that. Bissouma offers that as well. The athleticism, Bissouma offers that as well. CAMAVINGA gives you that as well. But when it comes to creating chances, when it comes to attack, pressing, CAMAVINGA gives you more in terms of pressing and attack than Yves Bissouma. And one of the problems Mikel Arteta has been struggling with this season is to create a decent press at the club this season. I'm going to produce a video how Arsenal have lost their identity and why we do not have an identity. And that is one of the problems at Arsenal. We have always had that kind of press, that kind of football that is always pressing you onto the wall. Now it looks like we have lost the press. It looks like Arsenal has lost its identity. And the moment you lose your identity as a club, you're going down. And we are going down. I don't know whether we are already down, but no, it looks like we are already down. Today in the morning, I was reading on my WhatsApp, and then there is a loyal Arsenal fan who made me very, very sad. He wrote and said on a WhatsApp group platform that, oh God, help us today so that we can win, and Spurs lose and Everton lose so that we can finish 7th. And my question for me in that morning, before I was never planning to come live this morning. I was coming live at around 3. But the reason I've come live is I want to interact more with the Arsenal fans now. It looks like our ambitions at the club have fallen through. Our ambitions have fallen that much. It's not something you want to see with your club. It's not something that you admire, to see your club falling. And for me, all that can change with this transfer window. Honestly, if Arsenal just change the way they do their business, that's what we want. That's what we are asking for. Change the way you do business, and everything is gonna be fine. The problem with, you see, let me tell you, people. Talking about CAMAVINGA, Bissouma, BUENDIA, and Grealish and so on, it only highlights the problems at Arsenal. And that's why in every video, I talk about what our priorities are. They will never change in this summer. We have 4 priorities. Only 4 priorities. A backup left back, a right back that is decent, a central midfielder, and an attacking midfielder. 4 damn priorities. Forget about the centre back. I mean, if Luiz is leaving, William Saliba is there. I could play Rob Holding for another season. I don't like him, you know that. I've always, scorched him. like the scorching sun. But I could keep rebuilding as long as we deal with the 4 priorities. Getting 3 midfielders, getting a right back and a left back. Those are 5 players. Our problems as a club this season have been so evident more than ever. A club that doesn't press, a club that doesn't possess the ball, a club that literally does nothing. So if you're talking about a player like CAMAVINGA, and then you talk about BUENDIA, you're only highlighting 2 of Arsenal's problems. CAMAVINGA is the deep-lying midfielder that presses onto the gas pedal, and BUENDIA is that number 10, rotating around that penalty area, rotating around the dangerous area to make sure that chances are created and goals are scored. And what has been Arsenal's problem this season? We have had a poor press. We have had shortages in creating chances and scoring goals. I've told you before that the rate at which we score goals this season is very alarming. Very, very alarming. Let me try to get for you the statistics here. We are currently 9th. We have played 37 games this season. 37 games. And you know the goals we have scored this season? We have scored... Why can't I get my facts right? So we have scored 50 goals. 53 goals in 37 appearances. Now, on average, that means you don't score, because if it's an average of 2 goals per game per 90, then we would have scored more than 70 goals. But that means we score at least 1.3 goals per game. There is no way we are gonna compete with a club like Manchester United that has scored 70 goals this season. City has scored 78 goals this season. There's no way you're going to compete with them. Liverpool have scored 66 goals this season. Those are top 4 teams. You understand? So, the likes of Leicester City that have scored 66 goals, the likes of Liverpool, you can see where they are. And in terms of defensive, defending the ball, we have conceded 40 goals. So we have a goal difference of 14 goals. So literally, for me, our problem right from the start of the season has been scoring more goals and creating more chances. And that's why the media are linking us with the likes of all those players you see. They're highlighting, they're just drawing a torch into Arsenal's problems. And CAMAVINGA, BUENDIA, and one other midfielder. Because if you have Partey and CAMAVINGA and then BUENDIA, those are 3 midfielders. You have Pepe and Saka and then Pierre Aubameyang. You need that midfielder who can be a game changer. When did we have last have a game changer like Aaron Ramsey? I know most of you hate Ramsey, but the reason as to why you hate Ramsey is because he never became a supersonic star, and he left the club on a free deal. Nothing other than that. He was a decent player. He was a loyal player. You've got to accept that. So we need a game changer from the bench. I pray that the likes of Matteo Guendouzi come back to make our instead of having Mohamed Elneny, we would rather have Xhaka and Guendouzi on the bench, because I think Guendouzi can change the game. Guendouzi can come in when we are leading 3-1 and dictate the tempo of the game and try to calm the situation down. I think Guendouzi can do that. So we need 3 midfielders, whether it's Grealish or as long as they are quality, as long as it's an upgrade. With BUENDIA, I'm still we are gonna keep following the deal until where it ends. With CAMAVINGA and Bissouma, it looks like we shall sign one of them. It might look like CAMAVINGA. Rene is still talking about 50 million euros, but they have got to they've got to think about it. They need sense in their heads that this guy is never gonna sign a new contract at the club, and there is no way he's gonna turn down a club like Arsenal to stay at training. So it looks like for me at the moment, our 2 likely transfers are BUENDIA and Eduardo CAMAVINGA. Both of them could cost us around 90 million. And don't get me wrong, That could be as low. That could go down as low as to as low as 50 or 60 million. Because I think we can get CAMAVINGA at 30. We can also get BUENDIA at 35. That is around 65 or 70 million. So it will depend on how we negotiate our deals. But if we fail to get CAMAVINGA and we go back to house same hour, I think it's a decent deal. You do it. Now you do it. Thank you so much, GK, for spamming my comments. Really love your opinions, but bro, I really love your opinions. And I'm very, very grateful. AY says, I agree with you, Cossy, 100%. Thank you so much, bro. GK says, who's been more consistent, ESR or Odegaard? Honestly, let's say it's been ESR. It's been ESR. There've been we have had more games where Odegaard has been completely anonymous than games where Emile Smith Rowe is anonymous. And I think the beauty with Emile Smith Rowe and why he's gonna be and why he might become a very important player at Arsenal, he reminds me of Jack Wilshere. He's all over the place. When we stretch play to the wings, he's comfortable. When you put him as a number 10, he's comfortable. When we lose the ball and we have to fetch it from back to front, driving that ball through the lines and the midfield, he's comfortable. So Emile Smith Rowe is a little bit more multifaceted as a player, than Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard is more of a specialized kind of player, a number 10 who loves having that ball and lingering around that area. The moment you lose the ball, the moment you start playing counter-attacking football, Martin Odegaard becomes a little bit irrelevant. And there's so many games where you will see Emi Buendia when he joins Arsenal. There's so many games where you'll see Emi Buendia completely useless and anonymous. What works with these players, the likes of Emi Buendia, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, is the club has to have the ball for them to operate. That is not with Emile Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe can get the ball and drive it from his own 18 yards box to the opponent's 18 yards box. That is not Odegaard. That is not Buendia. So you must be in possession for them to work. That is the psychology behind behind the football. The likes of ESR, because this season, truth being told, Arsenal has not been the king of games. We've not been a king of games. We've been underdogs. We've been so awful. Whether playing Burnley or playing Brighton, it's been the same old story. Arsenal, dragging behind. Arsenal lagging behind. But the moment, and for me, I believe this, the moment you bring in a player like Emi Buendia, Emile Smith Rowe is going to even get better. Because we will have the ball more and more times when we correct that midfield. Remember the likes of the regime of Santi Cazorla, the regime of Jack Wilshere, the Messi Ozils. Arsenal had the ball 60% of the time. That gives players like Emi Buendia, that gives players like Martin Odegaard enough time to do their thing. But the moment you have the ball only 30% of the time, it means these players will not have time to operate on the ball. So I think Emile Smith Rowe has been a little bit, has been ahead. Smith Rowe has really been ahead this season. I cannot disagree with you. Jika says CAMAVINGA is another Guendouzi. Look, I don't know what you mean by this. I'm gonna disagree and I'm gonna agree with you. First and foremost, they're all young players that are doing so well. Very young players doing so well. At the moment. So but let's be realistic. Guendouzi is a ball distributor, but slow. That is my problem with him. He distributes the ball well, slow and weak. That's my problem with him. He's gonna lose that ball because he's weak. He's never gonna create that urgency in the team because he's slow. CAMAVINGA is a little bit faster. If you think about it, CAMAVINGA is faster. as a player. Camavinga is stronger as a player, and I think he has more to offer than Matteo Guendouzi. But I think the truth is, both of them at their age and in their age bracket, they're performing well. So you could compare them. You could compare the two of them. They play in the same, in the same region, in the same role, but you can't compare, them. I mean, one on one. Camavinga is ahead. If you're trying to do that, Camavinga is ahead of Matteo Guendouzi. But I would love to see Guendouzi get another chance. I would love to see Guendouzi get another chance. He's not at that level, Cossy. This is GK. Gogo says Camavinga is strong. I think Camavinga is stronger as well. I think Camavinga is a little bit stronger than Matteo Guendouzi. What do you think, GK? Someone has given a lot of credits here, GK, that you're a genius. Who is that? Someone, I think it was DK Steven. He gave you a lot of credit that you're a genius. So, and many people are saying Camavinga is stronger. I think Camavinga is stronger, people. I think Camavinga is stronger. If you compared Camavinga to Bissouma is the stronger player, obviously. But if you're comparing him to Matteo Guendouzi, I think, perfectly well, the stronger player in that regard is Camavinga. And I will take him all day long. You know what? I'm telling you now, Odegaard isn't going to be in that Real Madrid rebuild. This is according to GK. I might not disagree. It will depend. It looks like Zuzu is going to leave the club. It looks like Madrid want to build something new that is so strong. They want to build something stronger. They want to build something new that is strong. And the only way you're going to build something stronger is by spending the money if you're Real Madrid. I think, at some point in time, they will do that. Yeah. At some point in time, they will do that. Odegaard is another player that will have to be carried. That will have to be carried. For me, and had maybe 2 good games. We have to be real. You might say, the truth is, you might say that Camavinga has been, Odegaard has been fluctuating in performance. Yeah, I might agree with that, but I don't think it takes away his quality. Anyway, says Smith Rowe is better than Odegaard. That's your opinion, bro. And then Gogo says, but I don't know where this Camavinga thing is coming from. Let me try to get this. Though I read into the statement by Romano that Bissouma isn't our priority, I would take Camavinga and Buendia. Thank you so much, Gogo. GK says he would take at best he would take Odegaard for another loan deal. And then Gogo says Dennis says, bro, don't cry for poured milk. No, I wasn't crying for spilled milk. But things have to be said. The truth has to be said. The legs, that midfield we had, the legs of Aaron Ramsey, the legs of Jack Wilshere, those players were loyal, and their midfield was better. Their midfield was better. You've got to think about it. You've got to speak about it. We need to build such a midfield back again. There is a goal that Jack Wilshere scored against Norwich. Still remember that goal, don't you? We still miss that midfield. We still miss it. I still do. I think Premier League fans just have priorities messed up when it comes to what players want. Anybody. Thank you so much, DK Steven. How are you doing, DK? Agent says Odegaard is quality. His performances doesn't match his ability. I think he can do more. I think there is a lot. Thank you so much, Agent. Thank you. I think there is a lot to get from Odegaard. A lot to get from Martin Odegaard. So much to get from Martin Odegaard. I believe we haven't seen the best of him. That's the truth. We haven't seen the best of him. There's a lot to get from this young lad. A lot to get. There is a reason Man City have been dominating the Premier League. Every year, winning the league. I think partly is their midfield. They have Gundogan. They have De Bruyne, they have Fernandinho. Their midfield is perfectly balanced. And for me, if Arsenal wants to dominate football again, we have to balance our midfield once again. That is it. That is it. We have to balance our midfield once again. We think getting youngsters and spending 60 million on them is now the way. I think you know what, the trend in football has become a little bit dangerous, but we have we can't do anything about it. GK, we can't do it. We can't do anything about it. Because the truth is, Mbappe is I mean the money for Mbappe is astronomical. Pogba, close to 100 million pounds. So I mean, it's become the trend. It's become the trend. We have nothing to do about it now. Absolutely nothing to do about it. 40 people watching. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, people. Means a lot. And let's discuss Arsenal transfers. That's what we can do at the moment. Camavinga is more rounded. This according to Agent Cossy. He says Camavinga is more rounded, and he says I think Camavinga will provide more balance than Bissouma. What I do not want is to have a midfield that is imbalanced. Is to have players that look alike. If you have Partey and you have Owa or Camavinga and you have Buendia, those are three different midfielders that give you at least something different. Everyone gives you something different, and I don't want to be mean. Where is this? I can't see my invite link. I should have invited some people on, but I can't see the invite link on this software. I really can't see the invite link. This is ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, here we are. Yeah. Okay. So you people, let's have some of you on the chat. Let's have some of you on the chat and try to see what you're saying, because the midfield situation at Arsenal, for me, it looks easy. And HJ, thank you so much, bro. I love the comments. HJ says, I want Bissouma. He is brilliant. He is good. That's the truth. He's brilliant. He's good. Yeah. But for me, in terms of balancing that midfield, in terms of Arsenal having a balanced midfield, I mean, I would love to have a Song belong somewhere, have a Chess Fabregas somewhere, and then have a Samuel Nasri somewhere. That midfield is balanced. Song belong, the defensive midfielder, Samuel Nasri, that number 8, and then you have the number 10, Chess Fabregas. It makes sense. It's perfectly balanced. Click on that link, and then I'll be able to bring you on. Click on that link and call in live. I've just put it in the comment section. Click on it, and then you tell me of the two, Bissouma and Camavinga, who is the player, because we will discuss this tomorrow. First and foremost, we will discuss all the players that have been linked in that area, and then we shall zero down to Camavinga and Bissouma, because it looks like Arsenal is getting confused. It's getting confused. But for me, it's either Camavinga or Awa. I think that that would be the better player. I would spend foolishly, not strategically. This is GK, and that's been a problem. That's been a problem at Arsenal. I was spending manners. I don't know. I don't know whether we get excited. I don't know whether it's excitement. But truth be told, Arsenal's spending behaviors suck. They suck. I don't know what happened to our transfer policy. I mean, the club starting to invest money now. I thought it would make us better, because back in the days when we signed the likes of Alexander Songbelong for less than $1 million, they signed the likes of Samir Nasri for less than 5 million. The club had a vision. There was that kind of vision. There was that vision that the club had. Now that the club has started spending money, the vision is gone. The vision is absolutely gone. There is nothing like vision. And I'm still asking myself honestly, what happened to this beautiful club? What really happened? why do we find ourselves in a situation where almost in every season we have spent almost 40 billion on a player and we're not improving? Why are we running backwards? Yet when we sign players at less than 2 million, we could fight with the likes of United. And we know we couldn't beat United because of the quality of the players and so on. But when United finished second, we were third, we were fourth. Now, when United finished second, we are 18th, we're eighth, we're seventh. I don't know what's happening. I just don't understand what's happening at this football club. And JK gives a very good, exciting example. He says 72 million on Pepe, 45 on Partey. That is 117 million in 3 seasons. Then we complain about the price of Mbappe. I think I'm not really complaining about the price of Mbappe, but I understand your point. I think we are also following the trend now. It looks like Arsenal has to spend the money. But we are not spending right. That's my only problem. We are not spending right. Alex says we should not sign players to excite fans, but strengthen. Let me just try to get this right. Okay, there we go. But to strengthen the weak positions of the team. I think that is what transfers have to do. That is the major aim of transfers. But Arsenal never does that. That's the truth. The aim of Arsenal is not to strengthen the squad. Never. The aim of Arsenal, I don't know why we sign players. I don't understand. I never understand our transfer policy. I never understand our transfer policy. Honestly, I don't understand it. Since 2011, I've not understood Arsenal's transfer policy. I've not understood it. Whether we are signing players to become stronger, whether we are signing players, because at times now, we had to sign an option to choose, and we are back at stage 1. We had to sign either Xhaka or N'Golo Conte. And look at what N'Golo Conte is doing at Chelsea. We had a chance. We had a chance to sign him. We had to sign Eden Hazard or Yao Javino. There are things that Arsenal does, and I'm like, what is this club even doing? But I think it's become part of us, hasn't it? Really become part of us. Dika says midfield should be Partey, Aouar, and Buendia. And those are 3 players that give us something different and something very, very exciting. So people, thank you so much for tuning in. It really meant a lot. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll be back. It is 10 a.m. so I'll be back. I'll give you an upload. And then we shall head into the games today. GK, I like the fact that you don't go with the crowd. Ruiz looks like a bowler. I also like Lacotelli. This is our agent cost. So you people, all people that have been locked into the chat, it really means a lot. Thank you so much. I'm going to be back, and I think it's much of football. We need to talk about today. The season ends. That's it. The season ends, and we will officially begin the transfer journey. It's something that I even don't want to talk about. At times I feel the season has been a disappointment, very, very big disappointment, hasn't it? Anjika says Buendia, that's not a debate. I wanted him last season. I wouldn't say he's a world class or anything, but 25 million pounds supposedly was the fee. Why didn't we look, we had a chance to sign Buendia. We also had the chance to sign Benrahma, almost at the same money, and the way Arsenal does transfers. But we had a chance to get Benrahma. We should have taken that chance. Honestly, we should have taken that chance. A season later, we're gonna sign him for 35 million pounds. That is Arsenal. Our spending behaviors, our transfer decisions have always been a problem. A very, very big, very big problem. People, I hope you're going to church as well. It's a Sunday. Make sure you go to church, people. Make sure you go to church. Yeah, make sure you go to church. It also means a lot. You need to go to church and pray. Cossy should also focus on our striking line. Lacazette is on his way out. I can't forget that. But honestly, when we talk about priorities, I think the striking line can wait a little bit. Yeah, the striking line can wait a little bit. But it is it's about to crash into emergency situation. Yeah, it's about to crash into emergency situation. Because when Lacazette leaves, if Aubameyang doesn't perform like season, I don't know what we are gonna do. Because it doesn't look like Arsenal is gonna sign a striker this summer. But if Aubameyang doesn't perform next season, we are done. We are done for. We are done. And I will speak to you in the next video. Please do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to my second channel. Link is in the description below. Subscribe to my second channel. Hit the like button, people. At least the 30 of you watching, hit the like button. Let's have 30 likes straight away. If you like Arsenal transfers, you've got to subscribe to this channel, and I'll speak to you in the next one.